London. Seriously. Even though we didn't have much, understand? It was so beautiful, especially during Ramadan. Like in the balcony downstairs. My parents were very okay, so they cooked for the whole kids in the area would come and breakfast with us. I will never forget those times. Those were the best. I think that was when Nigeria was, still fantastic place to live.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the communal living really, stayed with you. Now, you wanted to go abroad. Now you found yourself in London.
Yeah.
And now that's a different climate entirely.
Definitely.
So did you miss the communal living when you got there?
Yes, which is the reason why I'm always back home. I've never really, even though it's been 40 years now, that I first left Nigeria, the soil of Nigeria. But I've never really left Nigeria. I'm always back here. Because, you know what played, the trick those times play in a kid's mind? I've always missed those times because they can never be replaced. I remember when video recorder just came out, BTS, is it BHS or what was it called again?
Betamax.
Betamax, thank you. So we were the one that first had it in the area, and the whole Adubo. We fall into my father's sitting room, watching different movies, Indian movies. It was, I wish Nigeria can get back to that because the sense of community is what we're lacking now. Seriously, we need to get back to that, like the family feeling again. So I really miss that, and that always brings me back home.
How many siblings do you have?
Me, wow. Between my father and my mom, I'm the only child. But my mother has kids elsewhere, and my father has kids with other wives. So quite a lot.
So it was a full house.
It was a full house. Even apart from siblings, people in the area, they were like siblings too. No discrimination. You will not, like my father was paying school fees for certain kids in the area that we just see them as brothers and sisters. Before you can differentiate who is really the son or the daughter, it would take you a long time. We grew up knowing them as our own blood until we grew up before we, until maybe after my father died, then we know who is who. Honestly, it was so fantastic.
So you lost your dad when you were rounded off secondary school.
Yes.
Okay, how close were you with him, and how did that change you?
Fantastic man. Was a fantastic man. May his soul keep resting in peace.
Amen.
And no matter where I am today, what he did is still what I'm eating from, because he left a very good legacy. He was a very kind man. People talk about him. And a lot of people, when they see me, they say, wow, even if they don't know me, because I resemble him a lot. Say, oh, how much you put here? Some like one old man that I met where I built my own house in Bashor. That man said he used to work for my dad. He never knew me from anywhere. And for that reason, he just took him to me and said, I owe your dad so much. And my dad, his life spoke for itself. He was a wonderful man. It's the likes of Chief Oyelade, Chief Kolade Aisi, Chief Bello. They've all kind of see him as a big brother. And he played a part in most people's life in Ibadan. He brought up my uncle, Alhaji Abdulaziz Arishokolala. He actually brought him up. So you can see the kind of man he was like. And he was a Bajumo. You know what I mean by Bajumo? Like, him and the likes of Chief Salibola Titolawal, Babaki at Mapo, Chief Arikuyeri. They were the highlights of the society then. So we being their kids, we had a beautiful upbringing that no money can buy today. Seriously, it was fantastic.
In a large family, there's always a rebel. Were you the rebel in your family? I
wouldn't say I was the rebel, but I was the spoiled brat.
Were you the last born?
I'm the only child between my father and my mom, and I'm the last born for my mom.
Okay.
So I was so spoiled. A lot of people didn't even expect me to turn out well in life. They even said it to my face, honestly, because I was so spoiled. I had a hoe as a child. My parents did well. And I'm just happy that I never disappointed them. And all my own children today, very, very proud of their dad.
Great. So at what point did you decide, okay, so you've been a spoiled brat all along, so it's time to turn a new leaf?
See, being a spoiled brat doesn't really mean you have to be spoiled and lose it.
Of course not. But it could mean that you were a bit, might not take some things seriously,
Thank you.
like other people.
Thank you. Thank you. Like, my mom, my dad would go out of their way to make sure I get what I want. But there is one thing, I don't know, maybe there is a Yoruba that says, there is this adage that says, Bibi ere kò ṣe fowó rà. You know? It's always at the back of my mind that I can't let them down because of the way they brought me up. Because
A good legacy cannot be bought.
Yes, I cannot. You know, you cannot buy kindness. That's what they taught us with. I remember when we went at Itabale, as soon as my mom leaves the house, because she was a well-to-do woman, doing her own thing, a big businesswoman as well, we always have loads of milk, pick milk at home. And I would go and take as many, I would put it inside water, put sugar, bring all the boys in and girls in the area, tell them to come upstairs and come and eat bread and milk. Do you understand? My mom will come back and start, lie there, you know, just what was put in us. It's good to be kind. That's what we met. So that didn't make us lose focus. Like, for you to keep being kind, you need to be serious with yourself. Because if you don't have nothing to be kind with, how can you be? You can have the whole money in the world and still not be kind. It has to be embedded in you, like, brought up with. So that's what we knew. And that guided me, that I cannot just mess up. So when I say spoiled in the sense that I get anything I want, like when my classmates were busy at the library studying their head off, and I'm probably in some way just doing my own thing, like partying away. But that does not mean I will not take my education serious. Yeah? I do my own studies in a different way. Like, once I go through what may so rest in peace. He was there. He took over that part. Yeah, I think that was it. Him being there helped a lot. So as soon as my father died, I think within another 6 months or 10 months or so, I left the country. So he sent me away. Yeah.
Okay.
You mentioned that you're a spoiled brat. How were you disciplined as a child?
Who?
Who was the disciplinarian?
You don't want to go there. See, I'm sorry to say this on here. My mom has a very big bum bum. And my dad is not someone that would beat a child. But my mom, as beautiful as she is, as kind as she is, as lovely as she is, as loving as she is, if you misstep, like, as a child, you have to do one or two things wrong. Nobody's perfect. But she will sit on you.
Okay, I was waiting for that.
I thought as much too.
She will sit on you with her big bum bum on your stomach. And that really helped.
Although, so everybody say that's abuse today.
No,
Today?
Yeah, I think that is what's spoiling us today. A lot of kids abroad now, they lack discipline. They even lack etiquette. Like, they don't know what it is to be a man or a woman anymore because they don't have that kind of upbringing that we did. And even though we were spoiled, yeah, they never spoiled us to the extent of doing blatant wrong. No. They're always there to, like, pull us back. And, there's so many examples I can give you. My mom was just the soldier. She was the one, she was the disciplinarian. The only time my father ever raised his hand, I think I went out, I left town with some of my friends to a party in Nigeria. I was in secondary school, and I didn't come back because I knew I've done something bad, so I couldn't go back home. So I went to one of my friend's house to go and stay at Alhaji Salibola Tito's house.
Okay.
So my dad came to wake me up with a koboko.
Wow.
As soon as he raised his hand like this to beat me, he just fainted.
Wow.
Seriously. He just sat at the bottom, like, you this boy, you won't kill me. So it was my mom that when I got home that really dealt with me. So the discipline helped a lot.
What memories stood out? Like, what particular discipline did your mom give you that stood with you till now?
A few.
It's not just one.
A few. She would sit on me. But that, but at that time, my dad would not want to be there because he doesn't like saying that.
Okay.
So he just walk away or he doesn't want to see. But my
Did
mom,
he ever intervene?
He wouldn't when it comes to that. He allows her to be the disciplinarian. But my dad is a good talker. Like, he would sit me down. Like, for example, just 2 weeks before he died, a very close friend of mine's father died, just 2 weeks before my father died. And my father came back from the office that night, and I was lying down in my mom's bed, on my mom's bed. And my dad didn't like things like that. He wanted me to be a man, like, be a strong, don't be mommy's boy, But even though he doesn't beat me or discipline me, like, physically, his words are heavy. That's what he's known for. His words are very heavy. So he saw me lying down on my mom's bed and he said, "What are you doing there? If I tell you if Jackie, you want to be the mommy's boy, get out from my wife's bed." So I was angry. Why would he shout at me like that, So later he called me. Later he called me and he said to me, "Listen, I was only saying that for your own sake. Your friend father died today. Do you know when I'm going to die?" And that was exactly 2 weeks before he died.
Wow.
That stayed with me.
Okay. All right, we'll continue this conversation after this commercial break. Don't
Thank
go
you.
anywhere. Stay with us. Wow.
Cadbury 3-in-1 hot chocolate, the treat you deserve.
Staying tuned. It's still the Mid-Morning Show on BCOS television, and we are in conversation with our personality of the week, talking about Mr. Jelili Onlashipo, who is a business administrator, a marketer, and a business tycoon. Of course, now let's move ahead.
That's all right.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about family and all that. Looking at you, I mean, you're fashion savvy. It's obvious.
I love fashion.
Great. So, what defines your dress sense?
All right, I'm going to give that to a senior brother of mine.
Okay.
We were very close at the time. Although when I was in school, before he got involved, I've always been fashion conscious. I like to look good. I cannot leave my house without having a shower. And I like to do my curly hair those days and put my part. And I was the ladies' guy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Every girl want to be my friend and all that. And if you follow me on TikTok as well, you see that it's still the same trend.
I see.
All the way. So I think I just love to look good. It's just a me. Actually, maybe I took that from my dad.
Okay.
Because my father used to like dress to match. He would have this art, different colors, yellow, red, green, and he would wear agbada to go with it. And I think I took that from him. Yeah. So then another influence was from that was when I got to London. Senator Soji Akombi. I don't know if you know him. Baba Akombi was my father's best friend. So, and me and Rasoji became close at the time when I first came into London. And he was the first person I saw that would line up shoes and wear different blazer on top of jeans and this.
Okay.
And I think I took that from him. So my fashion from Nigeria, I took it onward, seeing him the way he was, and I took that from him again. And London was a different, so it just kept going like that.
I know a lot of people who would see you right now will say, "Oh yes, I represent." So now, when you were in London, you're in London, do you dress this way? Like,
course.
go out this way?
Of course.
And what's the reaction there on the streets?
Well, I have a lot of good comments, and I like to make a lot of videos because I see life as a temporary thing. I think my own father talked about death every single day before he died. Every day. My dad must mention death.
And you didn't find that morbid?
No. I think he realized where we are. That this is just a passing phase somehow. And he made me realize that where we are now is just so temporary that we had no reason to just keep holding on to what we finish. Live your life to the fullest where you can. I think that's what he taught me. So I'm a man that I love life. I like to enjoy life. I dance a lot. I listen to music. I like meeting people. I love to travel. I've been to every continent of the world. I love to live. If I have money as much as I want, just to live and be kind. No, just planning. You keep planning till you die. So I think from then, so my own fashion reflects how I feel inside. You know, if I feel good, I'll look good. You know, if I don't, let me hear you. Sorry. Sorry.
It's like you said, I'm going to take you back a bit.
Go
You
on.
said your father mentioned death every time.
Yes.
And then he died 2 weeks after he spoke about a friend's death.
Yes.
How did you feel about that?
I never expected him to die at that time. As I said to you, I didn't think death was something that comes to our own house. Even though the way he was mentioning it, even his friends could testify to this. One of the man that actually named me, Baba is dead as well now. He said it to me one day as well that, do you know that Alhaji always talk as if death can come anytime that he likes to. I said, yes, I realize that. But still, he was living to the fullest. He just appreciated that anything can happen anytime. Anybody can just exit. So why are you holding on to, because that is the most certain thing in life. So it's something never to be afraid of.
There's one thing you see, when you relate with people who are privileged or who come from influential families. There's sometimes this kind of, should I call it withdrawal from people they feel, okay, are not at par with us. Do you ever feel entitled because of the kind of background you have?
No, I was not brought up that way. There was never any sense of entitlement. You have to strive to get whatever you want in life. You have to, because even though calling myself a sport bra was within my home. I never looked down on the outside, Because all the communal area at Itabale then, I still remember all of them. Luku, Kazim, Hakim, all of us that grew up together, they still see me, we still see. And we hug as if that time never passed. So there was no sense of entitlement. I was just lucky. I was just privileged to have to have had the kind of parents that gave birth to me. That was all. But that does not mean that those guys were lesser than me in any way. No.
Why do you think our society now seems to be changing in that regard? It's more like we are very, very much, we thirst for a sort of situation where we tend to be above, or we feel like we are above other people.
I know exactly what you mean.
So why do we have that now?
See, number one thing, from me, personal experience will tell me, as a sister of mine said, he said, Lady, Shumopati Jasaye means like, we're now living in a different world. A lot of people, personally, complex. See, if you see someone feeling big, like, I'm better than this, check their background. They probably didn't, they probably didn't come from maybe, like Monimis Road. Like they just found themselves at that position somehow. Maybe that wealth started with them or with the immediate father. So that morality will be lost because they will now see themselves, because once you start worshiping your position or your post, you don't see yourself as equal as anybody else again. You always see yourself as above. So I'm just lucky to have this, I sit down with my organizers, we drink Gary together.
Nice.
I sit down with my mechanics, we talk, we share problems together.
That's commendable.
Seriously, it doesn't, the moment you drop dead like this, it's the same cockroach that we hit his eye that we hit mine. you understand? So I don't know why people do it, and that's why I say I think we have entered a new era where people worship position, money, especially money. So that is misleading. That's misleading.
take us on a trip with you. You mentioned that you've been to all the continents. So take us on a trip with you. What was your most memorable trip?
I think when I went to Jamaica,
Jamaica.
yeah, it was a fantastic time.
Okay. Reggae.
Yeah, I love music.
Okay.
And at that time, I happened to meet Gregory Isaac. He was just down the road from my hotel.
Wow.
So I used to go to him every evening. You see, one thing about Jamaicans is, if you get close to them, they're all longing to be Africans. So they used to call me, where's African man? Come now. So they were so happy to accommodate me. It was a beautiful hospitality. So I go down to him every evening. They would take me to Elshire Beach, kill fresh fish. I didn't even want to leave. I stayed there for like 3 weeks. So I think that's one of the best holidays I've had. And some other places, yeah.
People often have this claim that traveling without money is not as fun. Would you agree with that? Or is it challenging? Let me put it that way, challenging.
Yeah, it might be challenging, but you see, it depends on where you're going and if you know anybody there. You don't really need money if you know somebody there. You only need some money just for your basic sustenance, But if you don't know anybody there, it can be challenging without money. Because where are you going to stay? And it's not every country is like Nigeria, whereby everything is sentimental. You can always call it sister. Auntie Mumbolo, don't you? Something, do you understand? Not like that. Nobody, different cultures. You can even in England, even if you know somebody, if you're not really close, they won't allow you to stay with them. So, likewise other countries as well. So you need money.
I have never met anyone in the world who kicks against traveling. I mean, even if they don't want to go stay there, traveling to just see.
It's educational.
School, yes.
It's educational.
But we always have this conflict when we contemplate traveling between holding on to our culture and keeping our experiences untainted, in quote, as against, exposure. So I've been able to keep that balance. And do you think that worrying over that is something we should do?
You see, you shouldn't worry about it. You are who you are. And you can't, you as you are now, you're not your own product. You found yourself here. So you can never change who you are. So traveling, you have to realize that you're coming from a different culture, which you don't want to lose, because Nigerian culture, especially the Yoruba culture, especially Ibadan culture, we still have our own Ibadan culture, it cannot be bought. And it's a culture you don't want to lose, no matter where you get to. But that does not mean when you get to a different culture, you have to abide with their own rules and regulations and blend in, adapt, without losing your culture. That's the balance. But a lot of people leave. I've heard a lot of guys say that, I will never go back to Nigeria again. And they try. And when they get older, they realize that they're just playing. Because Nigeria or your culture is where you can feel back and feel like somebody. At our age now, if you're not careful, you get to 60-something, your kids over there, they see it as a normal thing when they just put you in a home. Are you going to put your parents in a home in Nigeria? Exactly.
Most people wouldn't want to. Okay, so we'll have another break right now. When we return, we'll delve into your business life. Okay. All right, so stay with us. It's still the Mid-Morning Show. Welcome back. Yes, definitely, there is beauty in diversity. When you look at those clips, those pictures of different, performances in different cultures, it just makes you realize, life is beautiful when we all are who we are. Let the Asians be Asians. Let the Africans be Africans. And when we come together, the colors speak, and it's just beautiful. Yes, of course, we are still speaking to our personality of the week, who is Mr. Jalili Olashupo, who has as his uncle, Alhaji Aishekola Alao. He's a business administrator. He is also a marketer and a business tycoon. Just before we went on that break, I was saying when we return, we'll delve into his business life. Now, you've spoken to us about your childhood, your parents, your father now, let's say second father, shall I say, Alhaji Aishekola Alao. And you pointed out some things, but I was wondering, those experiences, or who your parents were, do they have anything to do with you choosing business as an occupation?
Probably, and probably not.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say maybe 90% probability, because my mom was a businesswoman too. And my mom and dad, they were like 5 and 6. Business-wise, they were the only people, they do go to Saudi Arabia like they're going to Lagos to bring stuff in, and that was what I knew them to be. And I think when I was very young, we were at Itabale when my mom was traveling, and I didn't want her to go. I had to wake up. I walked all the way from Itabale to Labiron looking for my mom, and she had already, as a child. So that's what I knew about it. Maybe that would have influenced me. Like, because I started business since I got into England, and I just love to anything like sell, make extra money on it, buy and sell. So I'll do importation here and there, spare parts when there was spare parts going on during Tokumbo cars and so many things. Anything going as long as it's business that. But Nigeria is a very wild market. A very, very wide market. Like, so if you know what you're doing, once you can penetrate it, a population of over 200 million, so if you can find your own
niche,
there, you really can't go wrong. And you must be ready to diversify. You can't just stick to one. Because Nigeria is a very peculiar place, very funny environment. Like, you can't stick to one thing. But once a business is moving, everybody will rush into it. So you have to keep reinventing and proacting as you're going along that, okay, I'm doing that, but what else can I go into again? There are not too many people in there. So that's how I've been doing it. And I think I took that from my mom and dad. My dad was a car dealer.
Okay.
He was a shoes. He was selling shoes at opposite Bata shop at Baggy there.
Okay.
He started as a meat seller. Do you understand? And my mom was into clothing, Ankara at Kona Wondo.
What you mean?
At Baggy then, and she was a jewelry seller at the same time, and she used to sell wine from Cotonou all those days.
What works?
So many things. I think I took that from them. So that's what I do. Right now I'm into China, because China is the future. That's where we had. That's where we're heading now. The whole world is going to be looking up to China in the next. And although
don't we all?
Yeah, it's been like that for a while, but a lot of us were not exposed to it. But we believe so much in the European market, But even Europe is now looking to China. So who are we not to look to China? So you have to look for your own market. And Nigeria, as I say, once you know what you're doing and you find your home market, you sell whatever you bring.
So you mentioned that you got into business when you went to England.
Yeah.
So as a child, what was your dream? What did you want to become?
I just wanted to be successful, make my parents proud of me, without really knowing. You see, when we were in school, when we were in Loyola College, they used to send us prospectus, to go to university. And what matters most to us then was getting certificates. A lot of us had a dream about being a pilot. A lot of us had a dream about, I want to be an engineer, a doctor. But as life progresses, you now see where your passion is. And it's always better to go with passion than forcing yourself to do what you necessarily want to do, but you may not have passion for it, or maybe
Because
what
it's
you're
popular.
forced to do. So I've always been passionate about business. So even though I didn't really say this is what I want to be, like a pilot or whatever, but I knew if I have a good background, a good education, and I'm able to travel out, I'll be able to like get myself going in the business world. So which is what I'm doing. So that's,
Sometimes people feel if you don't decide early on what you want to do, you may be, in fact, they find it very easy to quickly classify you as what we call NFA, no future ambition.
ooh.
So it's more like, okay, at this particular point in time, you're supposed to have known where you're going. Is it always that way?
It doesn't work out like that. It doesn't, seriously. Talking from experience, it doesn't. Because I have a friend of mine who studied English, never really wanted to become a banker, and he's a managing director today. And he only studied English, but life took him there. So everything is, even though there's something we call destiny, like you just don't leave yourself behind, but what will be will still be. Yeah, just don't leave yourself, keep proacting, keep thinking ahead, and the environment as well, and the world situation too decides, But like if you're an academician, like if you want to be a lawyer now, and you decide that okay, I actually want to be a lawyer, it's something you have to like make up your mind from the beginning, and go to a law school. But even a lot of lawyers out there are not using their law to. There's so many lawyers that are, that are business people today. And when I went back to uni in England, I actually wanted to study law. Just for the sake of it. I know I'm not going to go to any court and be arguing any case, but I just wanted to do it because as a passion, I love law. And my daughter is a lawyer, But when I got to the uni, I was advised, being a businessman, why don't I study something that would enhance my business? So which is why I went for business management at Coventry University. So as a child, I think my dream was coming from where I was coming from. My dream has always been, and I want to be better than my parents in what they do. The line they've showed me, let me just, keep on that. Right? And I didn't expect them to die so young like that.
Okay, so what sort of challenges would you say you've encountered, both in life and in business, and how did you overcome them?
In my personal life, I overtrusted. There are certain things that happened to me that I wish they never happened because I trusted people too deeply. I had to learn the hard way. Yeah, and that's being honest with you. You see, in life, only know you, and it is written in the Bible, it said, blessed are the pure in heart,
For they shall see
for
God.
they shall see God. But know your heart, know who you are. Well, never trust people just blindly. Because another man is not you, and how you feel, they don't feel that way towards you. So I think that's one of my regrets. I always overtrust. Even I'm still making that, because that's just who I am. I'm still making that mistake up until now. I trust, but I'm reducing it now. So those are my challenges. But it is what it is. So
In the business world,
in the business world, I'm a very shrewd person. See, business you don't trust. There's no trust in business, no. So in personal life, as I said to you, I overtrust. But once I meet you today, I'm like an open book. You can read me. You know everything about me. I'll tell you everything within a day or two. You know me. Yeah. But in business, I don't. It's two different ball games. So you cannot afford to trust in business because you will be sent back to the Stone Age. Business is a very shrewd world.
so you started your business in England.
Yeah.
What were the challenges that you faced there? Because you were new to the land. Everything was
I-
new.
I-
You were coping, adjusting.
I didn't start straight away because I was still going to school. Well, because of something I've been doing when I was home, I just like to buy, I like to buy certain things, send it home, make extra money, and I was still working over there too. And there was a time I was doing cab driving, just to make ends meet, and everything I was making was coming back home. You're thinking as a young man, I want to build a hotel, I want to build a house, all those things that goes through your mind as a young man. You always wanting. I want to do this, I want to do that. You want to do so many things at the same time. So, well, as time progresses, I realized, okay, this is my passion. Just let me stick to that. It's something I enjoy doing. I like to buy, sell, make a little profit, even sometimes sell at,
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so let's go on this break and we'll be back to continue the conversation.
All right.
Welcome back. We're still in the conversation, our personality of the week, Mr. Jelili Olashukpo. Yes, welcome back, sir.
Thank you.
That was a quote right there. Can we have
Yes,
that quote back on the screen? It says,
no matter how many mistakes you make or how slow you progress,
progress,
you're still
ahead of everyone
who isn't trying. And that's very true.
So,
Very, very true.
keep
But should we compare
working.
ourselves to those that are not trying?
What do you mean?
We are ahead of them, but should that be the comparison? Should that be...
You mean people that are not trying at all?
Yes. Should we be comparing ourselves to those that are not trying?
No, you can't. You can't afford to do that.
You can't, exactly.
You can't.
I kind of do not
I guess the
go with the quote.
I guess the quote is basically saying that don't be idle. Don't say
Always-
until I get this.
Yes.
Keep doing it. Just keep moving. Don't stay at a spot. Because the truth is, so a lot of people would say, okay, I want to do this, but I don't have a computer yet. Why are you waiting for a computer? Start with a notebook, if that's what you've got.
Or I don't have the capital yet. That's the most common one.
Yes.
The capital
money.
will not come. You have to work for the capital. You have to start small, then build the capital, then keep growing.
So as a business tycoon that you are, what advice would you give to young minds that are looking to grow in the business world?
You see, it's as I said earlier, it's a different world now. There's so many opportunities out there now. During our own time, when we were young, there was no social media. We didn't have anything like that. Do you know how much money people are making, through social media nowadays? A lot of guys have opportunities, and they're just not tapping into it enough. My own advice is, with the way the world is evolving, you cannot be idle. There's always something out there for you to do. And don't rely only on education. Look for handiwork. You won't believe this. In Europe, people that do handiworks make more money than a lot of salary earners. Yeah? So if you must have a second, income. And always look for your passion. Because I want to be this, I want to be that. If you're not, if it's not your passion, if it's not something you're passionate about, you're just wasting your time. Because it is your passion that will drive you, and now money becomes secondary. Once you make money secondary, that making money from it becomes secondary to you, and you're just doing it because you're passionate about it, money must follow. Money will definitely follow. But a lot of people, a lot of youth nowadays, they miss it. They're running hectare after the money, forgetting, not looking within what they're actually good at. If this is what you're good at, if this is your passion, that's where your money is. So I would advise kids now that identify your passion and work on that. But don't, even if you're a lawyer. Okay, let me give you a good example. I have a daughter. She's a lawyer, but she's an artist. She draw, yeah. I believe she makes more money from drawing than being a lawyer. Yeah, so that's a second, but that does not stop her from going to the court every day. That does not stop her from going to the office every day to go and do her thing. Do you understand? So the kids have to like identify their passion as their second income. Even if they study all the books in the world, always follow your passion. That will make you more money. You know?
Okay, so a lot of people talk about the fact that the Nigerian business environment is not a friendly one. As someone who is involved in exports and imports, you must have, of course, have had experiences dealing with our ports. And we talk about how slow it is to move goods through the port and everything. So what would you say about that experience? And what do you think needs to be done differently?
Yeah, Nigeria is a very difficult terrain, honestly. Nobody's going to lie about that. It's very, very difficult. And it's getting, I won't say, maybe I'll just put it that way, the way it is. It's getting worse by the day. Well, you see, as a businessman, you have to walk around the challenges. You cannot, if you're a determined person, you cannot let the environment dictate how you work. So no matter what challenge, that's what makes life interesting. You just have to face it head on. You know, it used to be easier, let's say 15, 20 years ago. But now it's getting more difficult. So, but you still have to walk around it. You're not going to let that debar you. So, you know, that's what they call persevering. You have to persevere.
What would you say is responsible for it getting more difficult?
You see, I don't really want to talk about the Nigerian, I don't really want to go in there because we lack structure. We are too focused on irrelevant issues. Politics, blah, blah. We're too, see, we need to create that proper structure, put structure in place. Like all the other countries that survive or that are doing well, they don't know better than us, but it's because they have institutions on ground that handle things properly. But we Nigerians, I think we've been bastardized so much. Like it's a serious thing. That's a topic for another day. Honestly, it's a very serious thing. So as a businessman, look at how many industries do we have left now? Quite a few. I bet most of our government don't even know what they're doing in many industries. They're just concentrating on irrelevant issues. You know, so it's painful. But as a businessman, you don't want to put your mind there. Face your own thing, maneuver, however you can maneuver, and just keep going. You know, otherwise, there will be nobody left here. Everybody will run away.
Can we really all run away?
And it's not possible.
Over 200 million people.
Where are we going to go?
Which continent or country
Exactly.
will take us?
So you just have to, no matter how difficult it is, for me, there must always be a way to go through. You maneuver your own way and just do your own thing. But if there's a proper structure on ground, yeah, it wouldn't be that difficult.
Okay. Now, you're a very interesting person, I must say.
Thank you. Thank
now,
you for saying
if
that.
you are not doing business,
Yeah.
okay, how do you
Or
unwind?
traveling.
And besides traveling.
Besides the traveling, you already know the
talked about that
traveling.
already. So, if you're not traveling and you're not doing business, how do you unwind?
I love to dance.
Dancing?
I like to make myself
I was
happy.
waiting. I thought you were going to say golf or something.
No, I like
The adults fun.
Yeah, I like dancing. I like to dance a lot. It takes my mind off so many things going on around me. I do sport. I play tennis.
Okay.
Yeah, I do play tennis. But
Table tennis or lawn
no,
tennis?
lawn tennis.
Okay.
Well, it's just that, you know, when I'm alone, I can be in my room and I'll be dancing in front of my mirror. I like to keep my spirit happy. I don't want anything to hold me down or keep my spirit down.
New hobby,
Yeah,
dancing.
you know, there's so many things that will keep your mind unfocused. If you can focus on your happiness from within, nothing will get to you. You know, so and that is me. I like to dance. Even so, there was some time when some family members were saying, "Laide, what are you doing? You're just dancing," and saying, "What does that got to do with you?" It is what it is. That's me. You want me to leave myself and please you? I want to please me. That's just the way it is.
Okay. Now, I'm not a fan of one-liners, but I feel like sometimes it kind of streamlines you if you let it go. But what would you say is your philosophy of life? What guides your choice, your activities, or principle?
Number one thing is integrity. And whatever you do, you have to be a man of integrity. Let your word be your bond. You know, because integrity sells you. That's what actually we are selling. Me personally, as a business person, integrity is what I'm trying to sell. If you do business with me, you must meet me the way I tell you it is. I'm not going to say because your money is with me now and I deviate. No. So once that is clear, that's my philosophy. Integrity. No, that's the first. That's the most important thing.